Welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast with Core 4 Complete Fitness. Your episode is starting in 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Complete Fitness Podcast. It is me, Evan. I think this is episode 118, if my memory serves me correctly, which it usually doesn't, but maybe this time it did. How are you doing? Thank you so much for listening, watching on YouTube. Subscribe, please. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you're thinking, as long as it's nice only. Please continue to share. Tell your friends about it. I very much enjoy making this podcast. I know Corey does as well. Check in with yourself. Always what I like to start opening my podcast with, whether you're driving in the car, taking the kiddos somewhere, or to work, or you're watching this on YouTube, whatever you are doing, check in with yourself. How you doing? How you feeling? Hope it's okay. Hope it's great. The sun is shining. It's still a little cold. I did a nice hour-long ruck carry today. Steady state cardio. I'm still up on that. It's just a great way to kind of start my day today. As the sun was rising, I was able to get out there, kind of bundle. It was cold. It was like 30 degrees, but it just nice path trail walk with that 30-pound vest. And I feel good. Didn't even sweat. Didn't even do anything. But I know it's good, and I know it's super beneficial for me and my goals when it comes to my general fitness. Anyway, so point is the sun's out, but it's still cold, and I know because of that hour long I just spent outside. That was the point of me bringing that up. I'm realizing now, looking at myself through this camera, that I need to really, I think I've said this before even, I need to start caring about how I appear now that we have video. When we were doing the podcast before, 100 episodes or whatever, didn't matter what I looked like, what my appearance was. But now, I need a haircut. I could have worn a nicer shirt. Facial hair I've looked better, in my opinion. So I need to start being aware of that. Check in next time. Maybe I'll do my hair. Could you believe it? If I was just here looking like how I could look. This is really how I look, if I'm going to be honest. This is my work uniform. So nothing really changes at all. All right, guys, I want the goal of this podcast, when I've been really on this ruck carry this morning, I really wanted to I wanted to have a podcast that I'm very much proud of, and kind of gets my whole philosophy of fitness in one kind of epicenter. Now, we've talked about tons of stuff. Mental fitness is what I've been calling it, but a lot of the mental health stuff, battling anxiety and depression, how important fitness is for you. A lot of the nutrition things, of course. And they all kind of have different avenues. And I've tried to organize it as best as I can. There's going to be things that I miss, and I'm going to backtrack, just the nature of it. So I'm going to try to have this in one kind of like definitive line, so that it makes sense to where all of these different pieces, if you're somebody who has been coached by me or trained by me, hopefully it's kind of a nice little finite aha moment where you go, okay, that's why everything he's saying adds together to being and keeping health a priority. So it's easy to forget it. It's not anybody's fault, but it's easy through the hustle and bustle of our everyday life, and especially once we have kids. I'm new to the game. He's almost 1 year old. But I know the second you add a kid into your life, you thought you didn't have time before. It's hilarious compared to the time you have after you have a kid. And that's just one 1 year old. So toddlers and multiple and you name it, and different, single parents, and don't even get me started, because I don't understand how some people do some things that they do. It's amazing. And if that's you, brava. But I kind of got off on a tangent there. Oh, it's easy to get lost in the hustle and bustle of life and put our health into the kind of background, right? And then we realize it's too late. Well, we think it's too late. It's not too late, but we have this mindset of, oh, I'm 30 pounds overweight. I'm just going to be the big guy, the big girl, whatever, and hide behind people in photos and not really post any pictures of myself and just post pictures of my kids and stuff that we are okay with because that's not what it's about, posting pictures and stuff. But if you really dumb it down and be real, it's a huge pride thing, an ego thing, and self-esteem thing, and that's what we want to obviously be healthy. So again, my goal is, so I'm thinking back to all of the things that I've said before. Consistency, number one important thing. Doing it for somebody other than yourself, maybe those kids, whatever it may be. All of the different things, make it a habit. What are some other, I'm trying to think of just the titles of the podcasts over the years. A lot of them have been treating it like your car, treating your body like your car. A lot of us treat our cars way better than we treat our bodies. But the point is, everything you may have heard in the past, or if you've been in the gym actually being trained by myself, hopefully it kind of comes to a point here of why I put so much emphasis on this when it comes to training and coaching. So people come to me, they want to get fit. Everyone's just like, oh, I just want to, have awesome show muscles and then have everybody look at me and be like, wow, you got in great shape. That's going to happen. If you come in consistently and do the workouts that we make, that's going to happen. I guarantee it. Now, of course, it's not just that. You need to follow some type of nutrition plan. And you need to follow that plan consistently. And if you follow it consistently and do the workouts consistently, I guarantee it. And that's really not that crazy of an ask. It's 30 minutes a day and then just being mindful of how you fuel your body. But the goal is to make that what we want to do, and which is hard because it's not necessarily showy or fun. It's kind of boring. It's mundane. It's eating, a lot of protein, a lot of things that aren't, pizza and cake and cookies. And so it's not glamorous. It's hard. It's just like saying, I want to become an Olympic pole vaulter and then being like, oh, shoot, I need to dedicate 15 years of my life into just pole vaulting. Otherwise, I'm not even going to have a chance, right? It's kind of the same type of feel. Now, it's not going to take 15 years to get fit and get in shape, but it is going to take 15 years to stay that way. And that is the ultimate goal always. So we get many different critiques and criticisms always. It's part of just me being a coach. I'm not the biggest guy in stature. It's whatever. It's fine. As I've progressed, just through my career, I know that there's certain people that I had to kind of win over because I don't look like some giant bodybuilder who they want to take advice from, which is totally fine. And that's my pride and joy. I love when somebody goes, you know what, Ev knows what he's talking about. I love it. That makes me feel very good. It's talking just ego-based. It's a nice pat on the back for me. And I go, okay, Ev, you're in the right career path. This is what you should be doing. I love that. And so now after, having many people, having 2 gyms now and almost 400 members, people seeing results, liking results. We just had another person who's lost 100 pounds. That's not necessarily, I would never just say that's just from me and what we've implemented, but this person has really got everything locked in and changed her lifestyle, changed her mindset. And so that's why we're so big on that. And she is a person who was unfit. Okay. And she would explain this herself. She was an unfit person who decided to get fit. And now she's going to stay fit and only get fitter. So that means slowing everything down and accepting everything is going to be slower in order to keep peace. Yes, you can ramp it up 100%, work out hardcore 2.5, 3 hours a day, only eat chicken and broccoli to where you're lightheaded. You're going to get shredded. There's no doubt about it, but that's not sustainable and that's not real life. It's not real life. If you do it, you do it for 90 days, you do it for 120 days, you do the hard 75, and you get these awesome results, and then that day is over and you go, well, I'm done, and then you stop. And that is what I focus on, and we, the Core 4 team, focus on eliminating that stop. We're constantly stuck in this getting fit, getting unfit, getting fit, getting unfit. I wrote it down. I posted it on my personal Facebook page the other day. This chart. Whoop. We get fit, we get unfit. By the end of the game, you're at the same spot. It's just everything gets harder as we age. What we want to do is focus on this. You're either getting fit, staying fit, or getting fitter. Okay? Yes, we're not perfect people. There might be a month or so where we go, man, I've put on 10 pounds around the holidays. But if you go in, you can still bench press. You can still do a pull-up. You can still do this. You're just kind of heavier and sluggish, and then you get back on the track. Yes, but that is so different than 50, 40 pounds, not being able to do a push-up, not being able to hold a plank, not being able to XYZ. Those hard things are very real. They're hard movements to do. Planking, push-ups, pull-ups, especially squatting, lunging. That is a challenge. That is hard to do. And when you are new to it, whether you've just never done it before and are like, it's not a matter of an injury or a weight thing. It's just more so I've never done it before. It's hard to do. You take somebody who's never lunged before and tell them to do 10 lunges, it feels way different than somebody who's been working out for 10 years doing 10 lunges, okay? Obviously. But the thing is, that should only happen once. Your first time lunging is your first time lunging. That shouldn't happen 3, 4, 5, 6 times in your life. And this is what we're focused on doing a lot within society. So many times I get a message on Facebook or with our email, and they go, "Hey Ev, hey Corey, I got to right the ship. I got to get back in there. I haven't been in since before COVID. I haven't been in since the middle of COVID. I haven't been in since 6 months ago. I need to get back in there." And then they show back up and they look like how they looked before they started. And I go, "What's been going on?" And they go, "Oh, I just fell off, got busy, blah, 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 blah." They've already done the hardest part. And that's what's frustrating, is they've already done the most challenging thing, which is the first time getting fit. Everyone does have to get fit. Everybody's not born fit. There are people that are born fit, but not everybody is born fit. And the people that are born fit, they might not be actually fit. They might not have, the best cardiovascular health. They might still get winded going up and down the stairs or can't, plank, but they look great. That's just the nature of genetics, baby. Some people just got it. Some people don't. I'm jealous of those people. That'd be sweet. But also, it makes me continue to work, right? If I just had like these awesome looking arms or abs or whatever, big broad shoulders, I wouldn't kind of have inspiration or aspiring to do it. And in doing that, I'm actually gaining actual strength, to be able to do things and perform things. And I've went on about this before. My real goal with fitness has always just been functionality. I don't want to be some kind of like stick in the mud. If a bunch of dudes got to go out and put a dock in the water, I'm going to be able to carry my weight. Okay. Again, not the biggest dude in stature. But I'm not going to be the guy who needs help, when all these other dudes are doing, especially now that I'm a dad. My son's not going to look at me as some weak dad. Okay. And that's kind of always been my goal. Yeah. I'd love to look sweet. My body has changed a lot since adopting. I shouldn't even say adopting, but since adding health and fitness into my life. I'm much happier with how I look. But that's kind of the way we should look at it. With that stuff comes with it. Now, I'm not going to tell you what your goals are. If your goals are to become a great athlete, or your goals is to bench press 600 pounds, or be a strong man or woman, or be a physique competitor, beautiful, more power to you. We want to get you on the plan to do that as well. But I'm just saying, for me personally, and what 90% of our clientele does, it's the focus on doing it one time. Okay. I remember back to when I first started, how hard it was to run 1 mile. And I've also talked about this on the podcast. It was so hard to run 1 mile. Okay. Now running a mile is whatever. Now that's not from any other reason other than I continued. Now, if I ran that mile and haven't run a mile since, it would still be just about as hard. Sure, it'd be a little easier just because of my general fitness and everything else I would have been doing. But it would still be hard. What I've done is, since that first mile, I've continued to run miles. Even though, yes, I'm happy with the way my body has changed. Yes, I'm happy with the way things feel, happy with my strength. I'm not satisfied. I'm not done. But I also know I can't stop, because you lose it. You don't just gain strength and then just have it. It's not like unlocking a level in a video game, and once you unlock it, it's just yours now. You got to work to maintain it. So maintaining it, guys, is not reinventing the wheel. It's simply showing up. It's simply being consistent. The days you don't necessarily want to do it, the weeks you don't want to do it, the months you don't want to do it, is just getting it done. The holidays are a huge time. We think, obviously, Christmas and into the New Year's, there's like that 2-week block period, and people just straight up don't do anything to benefit their body in those 2 weeks. It's like, even if you took 5 days, 4 days out of those 2 weeks and worked out in them and ate right, or even 2 meals out of the day, right? And every dinner was just garbage, and you had drinks all the time, and you were up late, and you weren't working out, and you were doing a bunch of stuff, but you made sure you had a very nutritious breakfast and walked and got your 10,000 steps and made sure you were hydrated. That's so much better than going 2 weeks. I'm living like a freaking weirdo. And it's because we have this idea of, I'll just get back in shape later. I'll just get back in shape later. But that's the hardest thing to do, guys. And think back to yourself when you started. Maybe you're somebody listening who needs to start. Yes, it's the hardest time when you immediately start. Okay. Everyone does it. You can do it. It's not too hard. If you are somebody who is listening to this, who wants to kind of jump and get rolling, it is nothing. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. It is nothing you cannot handle. Millions and billions of people do it. Millions and billions of people, like I said, do it many times in their life. Okay. But our goal for you, my goal for you, is to do it one time. And that happens up here. It's hard physically. You'll be sore. You'll be tired. You're not going to want to do it. Absolutely. But up here is what's going to stop you, not your body. Your body is not going to be too tired to move. You're not going to be too sore to do this. I promise, I promise, I promise. So if you are somebody that needs to get it rolling again, this is the last time. Get it going, and remember this feeling. It is hard. Where you're sitting right now, watching this video, going, all right, you know what? I'm joining this gym. I'm joining that gym. I'm going for a walk. I'm going for a run. Whatever fitness level you're at, whether you're 100 pounds overweight, whether you need to gain muscle and actually gain weight, I don't care. You know it's a challenge. Maybe this is the boost you need. This is the start, and you only have to do this hardest step once. All right? That is a huge thing to tackle. Now, how do we only do it once? It's just keep showing up. Be consistent. Show up, show up, show up, show up, and it becomes your life. I haven't thought about working out in a day since it's been a year, since my son was born, when everything was brand new and chaos, and we had a 2-day-old in the house, and we hadn't slept, and I was trying to fit in a workout and thinking, why am I worrying about a workout right now? There's bigger fish to fry. But that's been a year. And that's because I'm not worrying about scheduling. I'm not worrying about if I'm going to do it. I'm not worrying about if I can fit it in, when I can fit it in. It's without a doubt I'm doing. This is part of my life. Yes, Monday through Friday, I'm going to be eating well. Yes, Monday through Friday, I'm going to make sure I get a workout in. Thursdays, I skate and play hockey. So Thursdays, if you can't get the workout in, make sure you're working out Wednesday and Friday to bookend it. If you can get Thursday in, take Friday off. It's not a question of if, it's doing it, because I've already done the hard part. I know how hard it was to start. I was out of shape. I remember that first mile. Okay. And then I became a big CrossFitter, joined a CrossFit gym. And I remember how hard it was. I passed out pushing a sled one time. I almost threw up many times. That's not the way you should do it, but that's how I felt, because I was pushing myself so hard and I was so out of shape. I was doing things that I should not have been doing yet. So now looking back and having that hindsight, it's like, I'm never going back to that feeling. I can do those same exact workouts right now and be so far from passing out and be doing the same thing to my body, still getting the same muscle breakdown, still getting the cardio workout, still getting the calorie burn. It's the same thing, right? But I do not feel nearly as bad as I did when I started. And that is what's scary. And that's what deters people. And it's a shame that we often live this life of getting in shape. Again, the chart I made, getting out of shape, getting in shape, getting out of shape. And then you're looking back going, man, I used to be in such great shape. Man, I used to be in such great shape. Man, I used to be in such great shape. You stop doing it to yourself. Get in shape one time. Stay in shape. And then just get in better shape. There's less cogs in the wheel. There's less things to take care of. And we've said this throughout the spread of a million different podcasts, but once you get there, once you start seeing those results, your only responsibility there is to make sure, I lost my train of thought again, is to add certain pieces, okay? So when you first start, it's like drinking out of a fire hose, drinking water out of a fire hose. It's too much. If you go, okay, my nutrition is going to be perfect. I'm going to work out 4 or 5 times a week. I'm going to make sure I get 10,000 steps. I'm going to make sure I do it. It's easily overwhelming, and it's very easy to go, well, can't do it. Getting in shape is not for me. Start with one thing. Join the gym, okay? And then after you start getting that momentum going, you're fit. Then you're staying fit. And then you want to get fitter. What does that mean? Oh, honing in on nutrition. Okay, now you're getting fitter. Then you're going to stay there for a while. Then you go, oh, I kind of want to increase my weight, increase my mobility and flexibility and range of motion. All right, we got to up the intensity with your movements and the workouts you're doing. You're not just going to be doing the same things every day. You're going to start adding in some more work, some more strength training, a little bit more gymnastics, acrobatics, things like that are going to challenge you, more plyometric stuff, box jumps, different things. And the next thing you know, you're fitter and fitter and fitter. It's not just this, I'm here and I want to be here and I'm going to skip all those steps to get there. It's a slow, steady increase. And that only happens, guys, from being fine with staying fit, keeping your body very, very preserved and healthy, and then creeping up as we go. The best part is, although it's the hardest to get started, you only have to do it once, and that's where the coolest results happen. It's quick. If you really hone in on nutrition, you don't even start working out. All you do is lock in your nutrition. You're going to drop a bunch of weight. People are going to notice. And then you go, okay, I'm dropping weight, but I want some muscle tonnage. Okay, well, I got to start hitting the gym. Maybe it's 2 times a week. You go, okay, now I'm feeling a little better. Now it's going to be 3-4 times a week. Okay. And it just kind of snowballs. And we're kind of afraid. We love instant gratification. Another podcast thing we've talked about forever. But this is why all of these things, all of this broad stuff that Core 4, myself and Corey and everyone on our team is so passionate about, guys, is because we're tired of seeing the people that stop and start and stop and start. And they say the same thing, I'm just getting busy right now. It's like, well, if you're just getting busy right now, when are you going to be not busy enough to take care of your body? It's a strange thing. And you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for another time watching this video going, I got to just get it going. I just got to start. Do it and only do it once. It is the hardest part, but it's okay. Challenge is a great thing. Which is another theme of a podcast that I made a million times. Yeah, so I'm going to wrap this up. I think I made my point. At least I hope I did. No matter what your goal is, if you're just starting, or maybe you're somebody who's been in the stay fit, but you're kind of just like, it's time for me to ramp it up because I'm getting bored. I want to stop, and then I'm going to have to restart. Maybe it's time to get fitter. Maybe it's time to start adding a little bit of weight, honing in on nutrition a little bit better, changing things up. And the best part is, guys, once you get things rolling and you're used to being an active person or a healthier person, fueling your body correctly, it's easy to do things. You can add intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting. Once intermittent fasting doesn't work, you go, okay, well, I can try to just decrease carbs. And you go, okay, well, I can try to just do this. I can try to just do that. And it's easily just switching back and forth and maneuvering. Rather than going, I'm going to start, and I'm going to be perfect paleo for 90 days or whatever. I'm going to do these 2 workouts and follow this diet for 75 days. And then day 76 comes and you go, oh, don't have to do that anymore. It's just not the case. It's just not real. Sorry. That's why when you walk into a gym and you see super, super fit people, they're still there. If you just got fit and then we're done, you wouldn't see fit people at a gym. The gym would only be people who are trying to get there. But that's why fit people are still there. Because they got it. They know that the mindset is, well, I got it. I know how hard it was to get this. I'm not losing it for the life of me. 30 minutes a day. It's not like you need to do a bunch of time. You're worth it. It's worth it for yourself. Think about the energy, that everything starts changing, guys. Maybe you're in a rut emotionally, career-wise, whatever it may be. And another podcast title I've said is, start with fitness. If you're in a rut and you need some confidence, you need that self-esteem boost, start with fitness. It's kicking your ass to get things in gear, and it's a hard thing, and it's a challenge, and it's an immediate triumph. All right, and that's where we change, and that's where we grow. Again, guys, it was broad. It's the same things I've talked about forever, but hopefully in one little nucleus. And from there, you can kind of see, okay, this is why nutrition is important. This is why getting out of the comfort zone is important. This is why this is important. This is why adding this. This is why changing this. And thinking about all the different things that we have said as a team at Core 4, hopefully is kind of coming into this one nucleus, and might be a good reference point for podcasts in the future. So we're always going to be adding, as we always do. Thank you so much, guys. Core4supplements.com. Use promo code podcast, save 10%. Get your proteins, get your creatines, get jacked, get everything in between. Sleep aids, collagen, a bunch of stuff, guys. It's all over there. Check it out, core4supplements.com. And until then, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.